Welcome to Ask the Tech Coach, brought to you by the TeacherCast Educational Network. If you are in charge of professional development and looking to build an innovative digital learning experience, this is the podcast for you. Join us each week as we uncover strategies that tech coaches are using to drive their digital transformations one classroom at a time. And now for your host, with over 2 decades of experience working with tech coaches and ed tech companies from all around the world, Jeff Bradbury.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TeacherCast Educational Network. My name is Jeff Bradbury. Thank you so much for joining us today and making TeacherCast your home for professional development. This is Ask the Tech Coach podcast, episode number 127. Today, we're going to be talking to all of our friends at Canva for EDU, a great application that you might not have seen recently. Canva has done some amazing things and now has a free application for teachers, for students, for school districts. And I am so thrilled to have Jason Wilmot, their head of education, on the show today. But before we bring Jason on, I want to say thank you to everybody out there who's been supporting TeacherCast and especially this show. The last couple of weeks have been absolutely amazing. Not only over on the TeacherCast Tech Coaches Network, where every single Wednesday we do our roundtables, but also with the tech coaches out there that have been supporting the shows all about Coaching Matters. The last few weeks, we've been deep diving, Sue and I, into the Coaching Matters book. We did a whole show on chapter 1, and we did a whole show on chapter 3. And next week, we're going to come back and we're going to deep dive into chapter 4. Really, guys, if you've never read that Coaching Matters book, check it out. I'm going to make sure all the links to, purchase it and check it out over on Amazon and whatnot are going to be over here in the show notes. It is a fantastic book. I am learning a lot. I've been a tech coach now for 6-7 years coming on now. I've been working with tech coaches from across the world. But I really have had an opportunity to really, step back and examine what is a tech coach? What does it do? How do you set up the platform? Not only is it affecting how we're doing things in my school district as we're building our new digital learning department, but also how we're handling things like our roundtable as we're doing our network. So check out all that great stuff. We're going to have that over on our show notes. Again, this is Ask the Tech Coach, episode number 127. And I want to ask you guys a question today. What is one of your most favorite go-to applications? Or there's one app that you can say, I can't live without this app. What would it be? I know for myself, comes down to 2 or 3. Like WordPress is obviously one of them. And if we just kind of get rid of the Microsoft and Google apps, what would be out there? And honestly, for me, the answer is Canva. From the moment that we opened up TeacherCast and rebranded a couple years ago and built this nice looking website, I have been building everything in Canva. I have my business cards printed through Canva. I do my social media graphics through Canva. I do my presentations through Canva. I do all of my social media things in Canva. It is my one go-to application. And I was so thrilled last year when I heard that Canva is moving more into the education space. And I was actually thrilled when I found out who was going to be leading that. I am so excited about this episode today, and I hope you guys are too. My guest today joined Canva for Education recently in December of 2020, and he is now the head of education. I am so pleased to have this guy on, my friend, Jason Wilmot. Jason, how are you today? Welcome to Ask the Tech Coach.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm doing great today. I'm really excited to be here and talk about education and technology and just everything that goes along with it. So I'm excited.
I am excited too. As we're certainly getting into 2021, we're all looking ahead. We're seeing the conferences coming up. ISTE's coming, Q is coming out there. Everybody out here in the tech coach world and beyond is looking to see what is new, what is great, what can we share, what kinds of PD is out there. And I'm so glad you're here today talking all about Canva for education. Jason, first of all, it's amazing that this thing exists. I love it. We're going to go into it, but talk to us a little bit about Canva for EDU. Why is this so important for teachers?
Well, so Canva for Education launched the beginning of 2020 at BET, the last physical conference or EdTech conference in 2020. And it's really a tailored solution. It builds upon Canva, which is a design platform, and it takes all the greatness of Canva, and it's a tailored solution for classrooms featuring all the premium tools, designs, library of assets, fonts, photos, illustrations. It's just amazing to see, since it's launched in 2020, how teachers teachers and students and educators all around the world are using it. We've seen such a rapid uptake in terms of online learning and virtual classrooms becoming the norm. And Canva for Education can really be that single tool used every single day in the classroom, from everything from collaboration, social emotional learning, and project-based learning, right? If you think about where students are learning together and collaborating, that's where Canva for Education can fit.
I can tell you that I use Canva every single day, multiple times. I feel like it's one of those apps that I just want to go into Chrome, and every time I open the browser, the tab just automatically opens because you know you're going to go there. You've got some pretty interesting things going on over at Canva. We're going to get to that, but let's first talk about, how does a school district sign up for this? And I think the first big question is, what's the price?
Well, first off, Canva for Education is a free tool to all K-12 students and educators around the world. So I'm extremely proud to be a part of Canva and offer this amazing solution at no charge to students and educators, because I think, once again, it's an amazing tool. So if educators head over to canva.com/education, they'll see a big purple window that says register now for free, and they can click on that link and register with their teaching credentials. We have a lot of great tools coming around school rollouts and district rollouts, so you'll see more of that in the spring and beyond as we continue to tailor Canva for Education for our educator needs, because we're still learning from them as well.
I love the fact that the creator community out there is vibrant. I just joined your Facebook community, already 26,000 educators all working together on that Facebook group to share things. It's got to be great seeing how the educational community is embracing what Canva is doing for classrooms.
Well, the great thing about Canva for Education is when I have a discussion with the teacher about it, who's used Canva, it's just like you. The love, the passion for the tool, what it can allow you to design, what it can allow you to create as a teacher, as a student. And then when you talk to students, like my 10-year-old did a sea turtle exercise in it, and his eyes just lit up. He was sick of writing in a word processor. He was sick of using PowerPoint, right? This brought both worlds together in just an unbelievable, unique environment. And then just the drag and drop simplicity that a 10-year-old can do. So it really is inspiring to see on that Facebook page those 25,000 educators and everything they're doing, right? Like, we need to learn from those educators, and that's how we're going to continue to build out this product, by listening and learning.
One of the things that I think every teacher right now is faced with is hybrid, distant learning, remote, whatever the district is calling it. I'm going to leave a link here on the show notes page. I believe this is episode 128 for Ask the Tech Coach. And you've got an entire landing page here full of fact sheets, planners, posters, all these great templates that I know when you sign in with an educator account, these things are right in front of you. You guys make it so easy for a teacher to find, use, manipulate, and share.
It's unbelievable the amount of templates we have, and we're growing that every single day, every single week, both through our creator community as well through our internal processes. But when you think about the hybrid model, the great thing about Canva is a worksheet can be printed physically, it can be submitted digitally and worked on real time within the classroom, or at home when they're actually working within that classroom environment, at home in an online world. But when they do come back in the classroom, the teachers do want to print out worksheets. We have the capability to simply download it and print it from a local printer. So it's unbelievable when you think about how Canva for Education can support physical classrooms, can support online classrooms, can support the hybrid world, right? It's bringing it all together in this platform. So it's really exciting to see.
I'm curious, who makes these templates? Are you working with a bunch of teachers? Are these graphic designers? Are teachers giving you the ideas and then professionals are building? Like, how does all these resources get made?
So it's all of the above. We have a design studio at Canva that's consistently working on and taking feedback from educators, and we're providing feedback to that team who's creating templates. We have a creator community of teachers who are actually building templates for Canva for Education. And then once again, we're just continuing to watch all these educators and teachers use Canva for Education and create and share templates within their school, within their district. So it's really all of the above in terms of how these templates are actually being created every day.
You know, I know many of you teachers and coaches out there have a Canva account, maybe on a personal account. All of the educational templates are in the personal side. Obviously, as Jason mentioned, if you're using your school account, you can sign up, get the education stuff for free. When it comes to these templates, Jason, how do we search for them? I mean, let's talk for a couple seconds to somebody who might be on a regular Canva account. They're not seeing the educational things. What kinds of keywords can we search to find these amazing thousands of templates and stuff? How do we make sure we're finding the educational content?
Yeah, so if you go into canva.com and you're on a free account, as you stated, we would love to get you upgraded to Canva for Education. So please, once again, upgrade to Canva for Education. But if you're in canva.com, you can see on the top header, there's actually an education section with all of the templates. So you could actually click there and it'll take you to all the education templates that we have. But if you use the search bar, whether it's math worksheets, whether it's grade level worksheets, whether it's social studies or book reports, or about me student videos, all you have to do is search in that search what you're looking for. And we're continuing to learn about how folks are using Canva for Education. So if you type in about me student videos, you'll get some amazing templates when kids are coming back to school or they're coming back from a break, whether it be spring break and you want to learn about what their spring break was like. The student can do a quick video, they can add images, they could add text, and it really allows the students to have a voice. But our templates are searchable throughout the entire platform.
Now, you just mentioned a few words on here that we're going to be talking a lot about over the next few days. To complement this episode of Ask the Tech Coach, if you head on over to our YouTube channel, which is teachercast.net/YouTube, we've actually got 2 videos we're going to be launching this week of things I bet you didn't know Canva can do. And Jason, you just said the word video. I don't think many people realize that Canva is a really awesome application for using video with your students.
It's unbelievable. I mean, once again, if you want to record a lesson plan for your students to watch, you have the capability to do that. If you want your students to record short videos within Canva and enhance one of their presentations, they can do that. And it's a huge focus point for us. We see how video is being used in education every single day. So we're continuing to enhance those feature sets. But it is awesome to watch students integrate a short video of themselves and move it into a broader presentation, right? It's the 2-step process of how some students want to incorporate video into their presentations, and this allows them to do it. So it's all about heightening the student engagement. Keeping kids engaged these days has been really hard in such a disruptive time. So this type of solution in Canva for Education, which we call talking presentations, is something that, once again, it provides an alternative. If you don't want to be live, you can actually pre-record some of this, and it just gives that capability to both the students and educators. So it's a huge focal point, and I encourage all the teachers to go test it out, upload a video of themselves, and see what the cool stuff they can do.
And it's not just the video, it's making sure that these resources that we're using with our students are updated. Recently, I started using Canva for my presentations. Of course, there's a lot of great templates out there, but just the fact that you can go into Canva and hit the present button, and if you spelled a word wrong, you don't have to republish anything. It's right there for you. The presentation tools in here are pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about presentations in this new world of education, where, as we were discussing, kind of the hybrid world, there's so many different ways to create and share presentation with students. Canva for Education can be that single platform where, once again, you're creating quick 5, 10, 15-minute lesson plans and sharing them out to your students, or doing quick check-ins with your students, right? Like we know that video gives the students a voice and allows them to do it. So those quick check-ins as well. And one of the other things that you can incorporate with some of that is collaboration, right? You can have multiple students working on it. And if you think about this simultaneous collaborations, this project-based learning, you can have groups of students working on something together simultaneously, creating video, creating templates, I saw a great example from a high school teacher here locally where they're running a 6-week session on the high school students have to create a business plan, and they have to create a new company and a marketing website. And they're doing all of that within Canva for Education. So it's exciting to see how some of these things are coming to life.
One of the questions that I know teachers often ask is, okay, I've got this template. What do I do with it? And we're going to be adding this to the video too, so you can see exactly how you add this stuff to your Canva projects. But we're talking about things like emojis, animated graphics, Bitmojis, Instagram photos, QR codes, Google Maps, you name it. I mean, really, it's the what don't you have access to, and you're putting together these presentations, brochures, flyers, graphics, etc. It really has been amazing over the last couple of years to see how much availability a student has for each of their projects.
I mean, Bitmoji is probably the perfect example there. And it's such a fun, cool, engaging way where teachers are using their Bitmojis, students are using their Bitmojis. It allows the students and the teachers to present differently. Once again, all about student engagement. So when you think about all the integrations that we have, whether it be styles, whether it be logos, text, animated elements, when you think about a traditional element being added, whether it's a circle, right? Having the animation around that circle and being able to make that pop, it really brings out the creativity and the design of both the students and teachers.
Now, we are here talking mostly to tech coaches, and tech coaches love working with other teachers to help them get organized, do things. Let's kind of take a step back here from the feature list, but I know with all the graphics that I do with TeacherCast, it is hard to keep everything organized. If you were a tech coach and you were trying to take care of, your own graphics, school graphics, what kind of feature sets does Canva allow to help keep things organized? I see folders, I see things on the side. How do you start to organize all of your Canva items?
Yeah, it's a great question. And the short answer is I'm using folders, right? So I'm sharing folders. If I was a tech coach, I would have a folder for my other tech coaches within my school, within my district, right? And I would ensure that we are sharing with one another, because I think that's really where you see the designs come to life, is when a design gets shared with another tech coach who then takes a slightly different spin on it, who then shares it with the tech coach. So I am consistently using folders. That's how I kind of manage all my designs and my graphics and make sure that I'm sharing with my education team at Canva. And that's how we kind of work together. We have all different folders for designs. You could sort them by grade level. You could sort them by subject. You could sort them by school if you're at a district. So really using that folder capability and making sure that you're sharing across that folder and you're able to share across that school and district.
It is easy, right? And then you can, of course, put folders inside of folders. And I've noticed over the, up on top, it says search. You can search for templates, search for design, search for your individual graphics. The algorithm inside is amazing, trying to bring up exactly what you need when you need it. I mean, TeacherCast has thousands of graphics and elements and people's faces and podcast logos and stuff. It really is easy to put this stuff together and organize things. But one of my favorite features for TeacherCast, and I think tech coaches are going to love this too, is the branding kit. That has saved me so much time over the last many years of using Canva, of having a branding area where you have your colors, your logos, your all of that stuff that's there. Why is it important for school districts to have a unified branding kit so that way everybody knows what graphics, fonts, etc. are required?
Well, I think it's just the consistency that you want to have across your school and your district. And that brand kit is a great place to store your color palettes, your fonts, your logos, where everybody, once again, is using the same logo. One of the things that we see consistently is people taking logos and slightly modifying the color and slightly modifying the fonts. And you as a school district leader, you want those color palettes to be the same. You want those fonts to be the same, and you want those logos to be consistent across the board. And I'm sure you have that across, working with all your ed tech coaches. You want that consistency, and the brand kit it allows somebody to basically upload the colors, the palettes, the fonts that everybody can use and make sure that you're consistent across your school.
It's not just an application I find for one person. If you are in a school district and you are, for instance, in a communications team, or you're in a team of tech coaches and you're trying to promote things, you guys have a new feature. I don't know how long it's been here, but I noticed it recently, called Content Planner. And you have this ability to go into a calendar and say, all right, I need this graphic on this day. I need this graphic on this day. Please publish this. I mean, I can't tell you how much money I spend on social media applications. And I realized Canva kind of has something like that built in already.
Yeah, when you think about the content planner, it's great for schools and districts and tech coaches who want to potentially automate and put Facebook messages. Let's say you were pushing a Facebook message every single week, and let's say it went out on Sunday night for Monday morning. You'd have the ability to automate that. So once again, you could have an automated feed through Facebook where you're publishing your design. Once again, let's say it's a newsletter. It's a weekly newsletter that goes out to all your parents. And you can stagger that and automate that to make sure that you are on top of it and it's being pushed every single week. And so it allows that structure, and it gives you kind of, I'll call it the project management that you may need at a school administration level or at a district. Because when you say it's not just for one person, you're right, it's not for students and teachers. We've got administrators creating amazing infographics, sharing with their parents and their students via Twitter, via Facebook, via social, because we know a lot of parents, that's how they connect to the school, is through those social media.
It really has turned from a let's make a graphic application to a full-blown communication station. One of the ways that applications and ed tech communicate is with each other. Talk to us a little bit about maybe the importance of doing this kind of a feature, but what applications does Canva for Education click into? Is it Google stuff, Microsoft stuff? Like, if I'm using Canva for EDU, what else do I have options with?
Yeah, so if you're using Canva for Education, and let's say you're using Microsoft Teams, we have the ability to create an assignment in Canva and publish it to Microsoft Teams. We have the ability to create an assignment in Canva and publish it to Google Classroom. We're working with Instructure for Canvas. We're also working with Schoology. We're on the final hurdles of also being able to integrate Schoology and Canvas as well. So once again, you have this rich, robust capability that from a tech perspective is integrated with the learning management system that you're using today. And when you think about the importance of that, once again, I know being in ed tech for the last 17 years, it's really important to be able to share and communicate within all these applications. And so we have Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, Remind, Facebook, Twitter. Like I said, we've got Canvas and Schoology coming, and you'll see those integrations continue to grow.
Any school district that's looking to bring Canva for EDU into their school district, what is the process? What does it look like? How does it work with the current systems that a school district might have in place?
Yeah, so if a district is looking to come on board for Canva for Education, they could follow the same process. They can go to Canva for Education. We have Clever single sign-on. We're working on other single sign-on capabilities as well. But ultimately, log into Canva for Education. We want to work with at the district level. We actually are working on our first large district rollout, about 30,000 students and teachers in Australia. So we're working on those district features, and we want to know what's out there and what you guys need. So my guidance would be to log into Canva for Education, make sure your district is using it, identify tech champions who you know that potentially may be using it in your school, and then let's work together. Right? I am all about learning from the educators and the district's needs to build a better product.
So who would you suggest reach out? Is this something that you're hoping a teacher latches onto and then brings their district in? Is this something that you'd rather be working with the technology directors? Who is that go-between between getting it into the classroom and connecting with you guys on a district level?
We're seeing it both ways. So we're seeing the tech champions that we have in the classroom use the tool and then bring it to their districts. We're also working directly with districts on showcasing the tech champions that are in their schools and then working at the CIO or the curriculum level at the district to make sure that we build a platform where every student in a district, every teacher can use single sign-on capabilities. They can log in, they can share templates with one another, but it's really both ways. Once again, we're working from the bottom up for our existing Canva teachers, and then also from the top down where we're engaging with CIOs. So if you have a tech champ that wants to work with us, Jeff, send them right to me. I am all about learning, and my information hopefully will be in this podcast, but you are more than welcome to contact me because we want to make this solution right for the districts as well.
If I have a Canva account right now on my Gmail account, and I have a whole mess of stuff. Can that get moved into a Canva for EDU account?
So right now, if it's on a Gmail account, we don't have that capability to move all those, but you can share the designs with your Canva for Education account. And then once again, we have that capability where you can log in both via your Gmail, and it can be a canva.com free account if you want to keep some stuff personal, but we also have that capability to share with your Canva for Education account.
If I'm a teacher and I sign up for Canva for EDU now and start doing things, and then my district decides to get on board, will that stuff stay around with me?
Yes, so that all your designs will stay with you as long as you're using your teacher account that you've kind of subscribed to within the school. So make sure that, and that's actually how you get validated for Canva for Education, using your teacher school address, because those are the domains that we have access to. So yes, absolutely, those will stay with you when the district rolls it out. And we'll add, once again, rich capabilities around single sign-on, and we're working on other capabilities at the district level.
Talking today to Jason Wilmot, who's the head of education for Canva. Jason, if I can, I want to dive into a little bit of your history, because you have been working for teachers, for students for a long time. Recently, you had an opportunity to work at Microsoft and do a lot of great stuff for Microsoft Education. Myself being an MIE, we all know the motto there, which is, or the mission, I should say, to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. And now you're at Canva, where their motto is empowering the world to design. There's a lot of similarities there, isn't it?
There's a lot of similarities, and they're two amazing companies. I was blessed at working at Microsoft in education for the last 17 years, and I'm even more blessed to be with Canva right now. I mean, one of the things that I've come to realize is design is the new thing that every student needs to have, that creativity, that how do you design something that's your own? Because once again, it's like, when I used to speak 10 years ago with Microsoft, it was about STEM and IT. And I truly believe that design and creativity is the new STEM. It's the new IT. Every student needs to be a designer. And that's exactly what Canva was designed to do. And as you noted, we want to empower the entire world to design anything, anywhere.
I love that. How do you know? One of the things I always try to figure out is, does a graphic look good? How do I know that a graphic looks good? Is it my opinion? Is it somebody else's opinion? Teachers all over the place are asking this question. Like, I can put anything I want on Canva. My third grader can put anything they want on Canva. What's your advice on here? How do you know if something looks good or is good or should be good, or how do you grade? Let's go into that conversation for a little bit, right?
So, I mean, I think
right?
Yeah, no, and I think it's important. I think for me, the way I look at it is, when you have students creating and designing and actually thinking outside the box, it's not good or bad. It's what you're enabling that student to do. You're giving that student a voice to not only create with, once again, we talked about video, we talked about graphics, we talked about text, and you're giving that student a voice. So I would say it's less about what's a good design and what's a bad design. It's more about how you can connect with your students to help them learn and have a really positive impact on these students' lives. And I think that's the ticket, right? Don't grade it on good or bad. Grade it on the creativity that you're enabling and you're empowering these students to do.
Are there any controls, permissions? Can a kid create any graphic and share it out on social media? Is there a wall there? What does all that back end stuff look like?
Yeah, so we do have the capability if a district were to want to block Facebook and Twitter publishing, right? In terms of, we don't want our students using their student accounts to publish out to social media. We have that capability, but ultimately we really want these students to be learning how to use technology in the 20th century and being good stewards of technology. And I think that's where I would look to the tech champs that I'm speaking to, and really, how can we do that best together? Because I'm not sure blocking things is the right solution. How do we keep teaching and training these students to be better social stewards? And how do they learn how to manage their social media is more important, in my eyes, than blocking it in many cases.
Where do you see the future of all this? I've had the fortunate to be a Canva ambassador now for 5, 6, 7 years, a long time ago. I've seen it grow. I've seen it start from that graphic organizing application to this amazing thing that started last year at BET. And now here we are into 2020. What's the next little bit going to look like for you guys? What's on your plate?
Yeah, I mean, I think Canva for Education, as we look at Canva for Education, it's going to become an everyday tool that students and educators are going to be using every single day in the classroom. Because once again, it is a unique tool. It's a unique system that's never been seen in terms of project-based learning, in terms of simultaneous communication with students. Yes, there are individual apps out there that do individual things, but this is a platform that transcends. And once again, it's giving every student a voice and how to design in terms of how do you think about it. So once again, we've come a long way from 2020, but we're about 1% of what we think is possible and what we know is possible. And we're going to continue to focus on delivering an outstanding value to these educators and these students. And we're going to listen and learn. And then we're going to continue to update our product roadmap. And once again, when we think about it, you're going to see new features come in terms of editing, integrations, and it's all going to be because the teachers are providing that feedback. The educators, the students are giving us that feedback.
That is absolutely well said, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the great stuff out there. Whether you're using it on a Windows, Mac, Chromebook, or even one of the mobile apps, Canva just has every single thing that you need. In addition to that, they've got a great teacher community. Like I said, 26,000 educators all coming together, and I love to see everything that you can do. I mean, even putting together these videos, Jason, over the last couple of days, I'm finding features I never knew existed, and it just seems like the future is bright for Canva. If you guys are looking for a real-time activity for your students, check out all the stuff. It is free. Canva for Education. You can go on over to canva.com/education today and check it out. Get your classroom into it, get your school district into it, and find them on Twitter. Show everybody out there what your students are doing. I know they'd love to hear from you. Jason, thank you so much for coming on the show today. And please, maybe we can do it again. Bring some teachers on and we can talk about how they're using it. And if you're a tech coach out there using Canva, please feel free to reach out over at Ask the Tech Coach. We would love to hear your success stories of how you guys are bringing Canva into your classrooms.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. Really appreciate it. And once again, if you want to connect, post something on Twitter. I will find it if you tag at Canva for Education. And I want to see all the greatness that you guys are creating in your classroom. So thanks again.
And we hope that you guys do. And of course, this wraps up this episode of Ask the Tech Coach. I hope you guys had a great Valentine's Day. Happy President's Day. And on behalf of everybody here in the TeacherCast Educational Network, my name is Jeff Bradbury, reminding you guys to keep up the great work in your classrooms and continue sharing your passions with your students.
You've been listening to Ask the Tech Coach, hosted by Jeff Bradbury of the TeacherCast Educational Network. Please reach out to the show with all of your questions on Twitter at AskTheTechCoach or online at www.askthetechcoach.com. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. And please take a moment to write a review in the App Store.